First question says, cuboid has length of x plus 9 centimeters. Width is x plus 2 centimeters and height is 5 centimeters. The surface area of this cuboid is 400 centimeters square. Find the value of x to one decimal place. So your surface area basically has a formula of 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. So over here it's going to be 400, which is the surface area of the cuboid, equal to 2 times x plus 9 times x plus 2 plus 2 times x plus 9 times 5 plus 2 times x plus 2 times 5, which is going to be 400 equals to 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 9x plus 18 plus 10x plus 90 plus 10x plus 20. 400 equals to 2x squared plus 22x, because 2x plus 9x is 11x, and 11x times 2 is 22x, plus 36 plus 20x plus 110. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the like terms again on the right hand side. So that's going to be 400 equals to 2x squared plus 42x plus 146. I'm going to divide the entire equation by 2. So it's 200 equals to x squared plus 21x plus 73. Bring everything on one side, so that's x squared plus 21x minus 127 equal to 0. So now we're going to apply the quadratic formula on this equation to factorize this and find the value of x. So that's going to be x equals to minus 21 plus minus square root of 21 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 127 divided by 2 times 1. When you solve that, you should get negative 21 plus minus 30.81 divided by 2. We square 21 and then add 4 times 127 to it and then square root the result. So we get two values of x. One will be negative 21 minus 30.81 over 2, which gives us negative 25.9. And the other is x equals to 21. Next is x equals to negative 21 plus 30.81 divided by 2, which is equal to 4.9. So x equals to 4.9 is your correct answer because your length cannot be a negative number. It has to be a positive number. Next question says, shown is the curve with equation y equals to fx. The coordinates of the minimum point of the curve are 5, 2. Which transformation will have a minimum point of negative 5 and 2? So negative 5 and 2 means that it's going to be over here. That is going to be a reflection in the y-axis. Hence, the equation will be y equals to f of negative x. Because what's changing is your x coordinate, not the y coordinate. Then the next part, it says which transformation will have a minimum point of 8, 2. So in this part, your x value is now becoming 8, which means your graph is shifting 3 units to the right side, because this is now A2. So if your x value is changing and your graph is shifting towards the right side, that means you're going to subtract the amount of units it has moved, which means it's going to be y equals to f of x minus 3. Always remember, when it's the horizontal translation, like, you're going to do the opposite thing. If, like, like the coordinate has increased, that means you subtract that number from the x value. And if the coordinate has decreased, you add that number to the x value. Whereas in a vertical translation, if your coordinate is increasing, you're moving up. If your coordinate is decreasing, you're moving down. If there's still any confusion about this, I'm going to attach the link above for a complete video by approximation of graphs and having detailed questions about it. You can go through it and learn more about this in detail. Next question says find the value of x. So we have two non-right angle triangles joined together, and they want us to find the value of x. So I'm going to begin from triangle ABD and find the length of BD using cosine rule. The reason why I'm going to cosine rule is because we have two lengths and the angle between them. So that's the basic condition for using cosine rule. Either you need all three lengths, or you need two lengths and the angle between them. So since it meets the requirement, I'm going to use cosine rule over here to find the length of BD. BD square equals to 20 square plus 15 square minus 2 times 20 times 15 times cos of 10. So that's going to be basically BD square equals to 34.15. What you will do is you will first add 20 square to 15 square, and then you solve this entire thing in one go and subtract the results from this sum. You will not subtract 2 times 20 times 15 first and then subtract cost, and that's going to be completely wrong. Solve this box first and subtract the result from the sum of 20 squared and 15 squared. So BD is going to be the square root of 34.15, which is basically equal to 5.84 centimeters. Now that we have the length of BD, we're going to find angle X. So to find angle X, I'm going to use sine rule. Why? Because in order for us to use sine rule, we need one complete set of angle and length, which we have. We have angle B and we have length B. We have length of BD now, which is 5.84. I need to find its corresponding angle, which is X. So we will do 8 over sine of 48 equals to 5.84 over sine of X. So X is going to be sine inverse of 5.84 times sine 48 divided by 8, and that is going to give us 32.9 degrees. I cross multiplied sine 48 with 5.84, divided the result by 8, and then I take sine inverse of the value that I get from this fraction, and that equals to 32.9. Next question says W equals to square root of C divided by P. C is 4.24 correct to 2 decimal places, and P is 7.88 correct to 3 decimal places. By considering bounds, work out the value of W to a suitable degree of accuracy. So what we'll do is first we'll find the degree of accuracy for C and P. Let's start with C. So that's correct to 2 decimal places. So that means we will divide 0.01 by 2. So basically 0.005. So what we will do is for the upper bound of C, we add 4.24 to 0.005, which equals to 4.245. And for the lower bound of C, we will subtract 0.005 0.005 from 4.24, which is going to give us 4.235. Next, you do the same steps for P. So for P, it says that it's correct to 3 decimal places. So that means for the degree of accuracy, we will divide 0.001 by 2, which is going to be 0.0005. Once again, for the upper bound of P, it's going to be 7.88 plus 0.0005, which is basically equal to 7.8805. And for the lower bound of P, we're going to subtract 0.0005 from 7.88, which is going to give us 7.8795. So now that we have the upper bounds and lower bounds of C and P sorted, we need to figure out how do we find the upper and lower bound for W. So to find the upper and lower bound in cases of division, if we're trying to find the upper bound, then the numerator is the upper bound and denominator is the lower bound. And if we're trying to find the lower bound in division, so numerator is going to be lower bound and denominator is going to be upper bound. So upper bound of W will be upper bound of C over lower bound of P, basically. So that's going to be square root of 4.245 divided by 7.8795. And that is going to give us 0.26148. So now I'm going to repeat the steps for the lower bound of W. But in that case, we divide the lower bound of C by upper bound of P. So that's going to be square root of 4.235 divided by 7.8805, and this will equal to 0.26113. So it says by considering the bounds, work out the value of W to suitable degree of accuracy. Since the first 3 decimal places are the same, 2.261. So what we can do is we can just say that the value of W is 0.261. So that is your